Some people get stuck in a positive feedback loop of bad habits. They stay up late playing video games, wake up late, rush to work, have a shitty day because they're tired, and get home too tired to do anything productive, so they just play video games. They have fun and stay up late, and the cycle repeats. If this sounds like you, this video is going to help change that. In order to get rid of bad habits, you must first become aware of them, because how can you change something if you don't know it exists? For this part of the video, I'm going to ask you to get a piece of paper and a pen. Got one? Okay, let's start. I want you to write down every single habit you do in your daily routine, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. This includes things like waking up, brushing your teeth, showering, going to work, things like that. It can be like every little thing you do, like even like driving, waking up, putting your clothes on. Every little thing you do, try to get it. Obviously, don't go too crazy and descriptive with it, but just try to get it, make sure you cover everything in your day. Once you've written everything down, I want you to put a plus on the positive habits, a minus on the negative habits, and an equal sign for the essential habits. These are things like brushing your teeth, waking up, and things that you have to do or like aren't avoidable. All of the steps to creating a good habit, which we talked about in the last video, can be inverted and used to destroy a bad habit. So let's start with the first step. Step 1 is make it invisible. So the first step in destroying a bad habit is make it invisible. Using the classic phrase of out of mind, out of sight, you can eliminate the want for a habit. Let's say, for example, you're trying to quit vaping. What I would recommend you do is every time you use your vape, put it somewhere you can't see it, like a drawer or a glove box and places like that. If you don't have sight of your vape, the visual cue of vaping is less likely to come up. Let's use another example. Let's say you're trying to stop eating fast food on your way to work every morning. Instead of taking your usual route to work where there's a lot of fast food places on the way, take a different road with less or no fast food places. The whole goal of this step is to take self-control and discipline out of the equation, so it's a lot easier on you. The most successful and more disciplined people in the world seem like they have a lot of discipline and self-control, which they definitely plays a part in their daily routine, but it's because they don't have said cues in their daily life. So someone who quit smoking just like didn't have it around, someone who quit fast food didn't have it around. It's a lot harder to do a bad habit when it's not around or you can't see it. This whole step is all based around the idea of out of sight, out of mind, and ignoring the first cue of habit creation. If you're not getting a visual cue of the habit, it's a lot harder to continue on to the next steps of habit creation, which is like reward response and things like that. When you implement this step, you'll notice that a lot of times you won't even notice that whatever you're trying to quit is even existing. You'll forget that you even vape, you'll forget that there's even fast food. It'll get out of your life a lot easier. But that's going to cover it for step 1. Let's move on to step 2. Step 2 of killing a bad habit is going to be make it unattractive. Making something unattractive will negatively associate the habit we are trying to kill in the mind. This will lower the craving in the future and prevent you from wanting it altogether. The first example I have is, I got this from a YouTuber named Matt Diavella. To quit social media, a big help is turning off the color on your phone, making it black and white. You don't realize what part color plays in social media and us wanting stuff. Pretty colors make it a lot easier for us to stay on the app for longer periods of time, but when there's less color cue going on in your head, you're a lot less attracted to it. So when you use social media, you can turn on the black and white filter on your phone and you'll realize that you don't want to be on there as much. The next example I have for this is if you want to quit vaping or smoking, you can buy flavors that you don't like, and this will cause you to reevaluate how bad you want the nicotine and lower your vaping and smoking slowly but surely. And the longer the good flavors and sweet tastes are gone, the less you want to hit them. This brings us to step 3, make it difficult. Making something more difficult than it has to be can be used to your advantage in terms of getting rid of a bad habit. It can help you lower the stimuli from the habit and reduce the want and need for it. So an example would be, let's say you want to stop watching TV when you get home from work and become more productive. A thing you could do is, after each use of your TV, unplug it and put it in another room. That way you have to do a lot more work to watch TV than you would something you should be doing. Making a bad habit more difficult to do is crucial to killing it, because we don't realize that a lot of the time when we do set habit, it's because it's right there and easy to access, and we subconsciously just gravitate towards it because it's already in our environment and we're just like floating through life most of the time. Most of us are unconscious 90% of the time. We don't think of this consciously though, it's hard to notice. Another less extreme example is, let's say if you're trying to play video games less, after each use just unplug the console and put it away in like a closet, or make the environment that you do the habit in uncomfortable. So let's say watching TV, you could watch TV in the closet. You're a lot less likely to watch TV there. Or only hit your vape in a certain place. So it's a lot less, and you'll start to build up the habit of only vaping when you're in said place. That way when you'll get the craving for the thing, you'll associate it with a place. That way whenever you're not in said place, you are a lot less likely to get the craving, and it just won't feel right. The final step to killing a bad habit is to make it unsatisfying. Making your habits unsatisfying is the final step in getting rid of a habit you don't want. We need to figure out what about the habit is satisfying so we can shrink and even eliminate it. So like the vaping example earlier, we realized that a lot of the time it's like the sweet flavors of the vape that make it satisfying. Switch to an unsatisfying flavor. This also applies to this rule, and just make it altogether less fun. Another really good example that I really advocate for is get an accountability partner, someone who will hold you accountable for getting rid of a bad habit. You could even go as far as to sign a contract with them and give them money if you fail. I did this with my friend Levi when I was doing no fap because it made the act of fapping feel like losing money. So instead of thinking about the release, and I would now also think, this costs $30, I don't want it that bad. I'm telling you, implement something like this and it will change your life. Another way you can make something unsatisfying is don't couple it with something else you enjoy. So if you normally smoke and watch TV, only smoke and then finish smoking, and then you can do whatever after. But don't combine two bad habits together, or don't combine two things. Don't combine a bad habit with something you enjoy, because it'll reinforce positive connections in your head, and it'll make you want to do it more because you'll think of it more positively. In conclusion, breaking a bad habit can be easy if you make it hard to like or want to do. And the steps to doing so are: make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying. I was able to kick my prawn addiction years ago using all these methods. It was a really big problem for me at the time, and I was in high school, and I ended up doing it as a joke, but I actually committed to the joke and ended up dropping it altogether. I was also able to use a lot of these to help break a lot of my habits for food addiction and binge eating. And I promise, if you take action and get someone to help you and keep you accountable, you'll be surprised with what you can do. Especially if you use your ego to leverage it against yourself. Because if you tell someone you're going to do something, your ego will automatically jump in to boost your motivation to help you do that thing. Be like, oh, I'm going to do this. And then you tell someone that, and then you'll want to complete that task more because your ego is involved. You told someone you're going to do it, and not doing so means that they're going to think less of you. Or frame it some kind of way like that in your head so that you'll be more motivated to do that said thing. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. And that's going to be it. Yeah. Peace.